talk about the recipe for success and the art of culinary creation. As Australia's Tetsuya Wakuda speaks with Singapore's Justin Quek.
My name is Justin Quek. I'm the principal chef of Sky 57 in Marine Bay Sands. I was trained in France. I do modern French cuisine all my career. That's where I found all their principle of cooking, the product they use. Because the French respect the product, the technique of cooking. That's where my foundation is. So I'm back in Singapore, so I thought it's time to showcase Singapore to the world. So Sky 57 is a must visit. When you come here, tell me what you like, and I cook the way we want. And then that's where we showcase to the world that, wow, Singapore got a lot to offer. Tetsuya, I knew him since about 96 when I visited Sydney with a few friends, So I ate in his restaurant in Rozelle. When I went there, I said, wow, this restaurant, there's no sign at all. And you have to enter by the side door. But tasting his food, I say, this guy is really a genius. The taste, the balance, the portioning is so good. His French is really very, special to me.
Today I'm heading off to Wakugin at Marina Bay Sands to talk to my good friend Tetsuya. We have known each other for many years and always try to catch up when he's in town. This is the first restaurant outside Sydney where his culinary venture began with Tetsuya. His international reputation was built on his innovative techniques and his insistence on using the freshest ingredients. It's been a while and I'm looking forward to catching up with him.
So Ted, I know you for so long.
How many years now? 15, 16 years?
16 years, 16 if I recall. What made you go to Australia when you were young, and what inspired you to stay on and be what you are today,
Purely, I think, accident. Even first of all, I never thought to become cook, chef, restaurateur. Just I wanted to go around the world.
You were what, 20 years old or 22 then?
22.
Yeah, I started sailing when I was 20 because I want to travel. I want to see the world. And the cheapest way is to get a job on board, then you can travel and you got your 3 meal, you got a bed,
Well, you know what it is? That's 1982. I had the $3,000. I had a little sports bag. No, even I didn't have suitcase. That's what I had.
You landed in Sydney or in Melbourne?
In Sydney. And then first day, I stayed at the hotel. And next day, I thought, well, 1 year, I got a 1 year visa, so stayed 1 year, look around. Next day, I went to real estate agent. And then just I got a little flat in city. It's a broken English. Can you introduce me some school, but inexpensive English school? Hop in the car, so he took me to the restaurant. Show me kitchen, and then chef said, tomorrow, 9 a.m. here. Sharp.
Japanese restaurant?
I remember. No, Australian. European, Australian. So, start from dishwasher, and then become filleting a fish. They told me, and then somehow I'm good at it. So then chef likes it. So then sort of assistant sort of thing. And then about a year and a half later, I met Tony Wilson by accident. And again, I just walked past front of his restaurant, and ex-manager from where my first job called me and said, hello, you're Japanese? Why don't you work for me? And then that's how I started. And that time I was having a holiday. So then anyway, just started to see how it goes. And then I loved his food. And that's how I become assistant cook.
Oh, that's where you learn your French foundation.
Yes.
Sauces, things like this.
Yeah, everything. So 5 years later, $5,000 I could buy a restaurant, so I bought it. And that's how I started.
You bought
1987. No, before. So Ultimo.
Ultimo,
it's on the Harry Street. I had the 2 years. And then I sold the house, everything, and I want to get out from there. So then I bought a building at the Rozelle. That was 1989. I was there for 12 years or so. 11 years, 12 years. And then went to Kent Street, which is
beautiful. Wow.
Many years ago, that restaurant, because I forgot the Thai, I couldn't get in. I was so angry. I thought, one day, I'll buy you out.
Is this?
And I bought it. Yeah, and they're still joking about it. I mean, no anger or anything like that, but just one day. But end up actually, as a building owner, which is Suntory, they actually offer me to buy it.
But now it's been how many years already?
11 years.
11, huh? Remember you just opened? What, time passed?
Quick, isn't it?
It's been more than a year in Singapore in the Marina Bay Sands. So how's that experience have been for you?
Eating is actually, that's a culture here. It's incredible. And then particularly Singapore now, like boiling. Absolutely boiling, I think. And I can't keep up with it because every month I'm coming here and already, have you been to that restaurant? Have you been to that cafe? And the standards going up, this is incredible. Many years ago, Marina Bay Sands invited me to open a restaurant. And I told them what kind of thing I like to have. I like to have, quite personal restaurant. It's normally chef's table. You sit in the dining room, you can see the kitchen on the side or front or whatever. But this is more direct, sort of you contact with interact with the chef and the guest. That's something like go to sushi bar. I never thought they're going to accept that. It's a big space with just only 20 people. That's what I wanted to do. And amazing project. I couldn't say no. So I'm very, very glad I opened it here.
So I've experienced dining in Wakugin. I noticed a difference between Sydney and here. Here I found that it's very personalized, and then of course with the showmanship, interacting with the guests. But I'm amazed at the product that you select for Wakugin. So pure, and the way you handle the cooking, I say it's amazing.
When everybody said to me first, even Singapore friends said, "Oh, Tets, in Australia, something your restaurant is so special about it, or local produce, because Australia is, as you know, very strict quarantine rules. But Singapore, my friends and the guests as well, initially they said to me, okay, Singapore, you haven't got anything, no season, what are you going to cook? Everybody said. So it's a particular local friend said, oh, no, shouldn't. Even quite a few friends actually, no, we like to have you here, but I don't know what you can do. But I thought, okay, maybe there isn't season, like Australia or other countries, Japan and so on. But Northern Hemisphere is, say, summer. Southern Hemisphere, which is like Australia,
yes,
winter. So every day we have 2 seasons. This is like a playground for me, Singapore doesn't produce much food, but neighbor countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, all that, we can get that, right? And top of it, from Europe, from Australia, example, early once actually in Australia, travel season, we ran out. So I rang Sydney, the restaurant, I have plenty of stock. So asked them to put in a first flight. In the morning, they left, I think, 9 o'clock. Just after 3 o'clock, deliver here. I mean,
same day?
Same day.
Wow.
It's more efficient than send it from South Australia to Sydney, from farm, go to the airport, and then put on a domestic flight to send the airport in Sydney and then get delivered. It's quicker. As a chefs, it's very exciting because variety of ingredients. I always wanted to try use Japanese ingredients, but they're very limited in Australia. But here, I can use it. So that's why over the years, I travel a lot in Japan too. I get finest ingredients, bring to Singapore, I'm using it. So it's that's something excites me a lot.
I used to introduce you Singapore eating place in the hawker center, stuff like this. But now today, I believe you know more than me. Does Singapore flavor inspire you, or want to cook with something with Singapore flavor or maybe ingredient?
I love fine dining or restaurants, all different cuisines. But my bottom of my heart, love chicken rice, char kway teow. I like it so much, and somebody said to me in Malaysia is the best. So Penang, even I went for a day trip to eat ultimate char kway teow. I love the char kway teow. And I don't know how they call it. It's a stingray stingray wrapped in the banana leaves with the sambal.
Yeah.
Sambal stingray, whatever.
Barbecue stingray with sambal. Yeah,
love that.
with the calamansi.
Yeah, that's it. Stuff like that, and everything is a flavor.
Yes.
Texture. Ota even example. It's similar, but it's not the same as a stingray. Stuff like that. It's spiciness, everything that excites me to think. When you have a good food, give me more sort of energy to I have to cook something better. So that's one particular dish is chicken rice. How can I get that just perfectly cooked? So tender, so juicy, flavorsome. I mean, I'm not going there to eat something because I want to learn something. I never think. I just love to eat. That's most important for chefs, I think. First, you got hungry for. It's not hungry for, not because hungry the stomach. So sometimes I'm so full, I just, but the other table, always we do in the Fuka Center or whatever. Hey, what having at the table, stuff like that. So full here, but hungry for. Here, the palate.
Palate for the flavor.
And then I can't help it. I just a little bit, I want to taste it.
So if you have to create a dish with Singapore flavor ingredient, what would you come up with? You like crab, right? You told me some, chili crab thing like this.
Crab, yes. We use steamed crab. So it's de-shelled raw crab meat. We can get them from Australia now. And gently steam them. And sauce, which is with the use of bean curd.
As a Singaporean, for me, my dream actually is to bring Singapore food outside Singapore. And I believe Singapore food is not just hawker food. I feel that Asian came from a humble beginning, but we have arrived. People want to eat well, drink well. That's why I get the inspiration from you to use the best small portion, serving in very fine porcelain. Today, I learned so much from Japan and around Asia that restaurant always come in small size. Because due to the labor, due to the rental, of course, the niche market of fine dining.
People nowadays, I think, people travel to eat. Check the internet, world getting smaller, I get all the information in just a fingertip. And then, I go to Italy, I go to this restaurant, or that bar, or that staying hotels and stuff, that's something Singapore is now. Even like young Japanese man came here as a tourist, they liked it so much, the chicken rice. But in Roppongi, I think he opened up the chicken rice shop and doing very well. So I think a huge market and a huge audience you have and Singapore has. Either people coming here to eat, and then again, if some of the chefs go overseas to introduce, like yourself, and then doing some Singapore flavors and cuisine to abroad, I think very interesting. And it will be a very, very good idea, I think.